What is going on, Miami Hurricanes fans around the world? And I knew this day was going to come eventually. It's time that we sit down and we have some straight up real talk. Now, before we get real deep into this video, I do want to let you guys know that I recently launched my Patreon page. If you're not sure what Patreon is, just check it out. Mine is patreon.com/collegefootballvids. There's a link down in the description and in my pinned comment. What Patreon is a way to support a content creator by pledging a monthly donation. You can cancel that donation at any time, but it can be as small as $1 per month, $5 per month, $20 per month, and what I do is I give you special perks for doing so. So I do some inside videos, bloopers, stuff that no one else gets to see that's for Patreon members only. So check it out. I would greatly appreciate it if you would do so. Do not feel obligated to do it in any way, but the option's there if you want to help support Coop. We all know that something needs to change at Miami, and a lot of people really want a dedicated offensive coordinator on the staff. So what I have done, I've done some research and I have put together 3 options that I think are realistic choices for Miami. These are people that I think could potentially actually want to come to Miami and coach, and these are people that I think are obtainable coaches for Miami to go out and get. So keep an open mind, because these are just me personally, my 3 choices. Make sure that you let me know down in the comment section below some people that you want to see, someone that you think would make a good offensive coordinator at Miami. These are in no particular order, but before you start thinking that I prefer one of these over the other, these are in no particular order. This is just 3 choices, and they're in a random order. So number 1, and you guys probably know this one's coming, Mr. Ken Dorsey. Now, if you don't know who Ken Dorsey is, then you might not be a Miami Hurricanes fan. Ken Dorsey is the man who led the Miami Hurricanes to their most recent national championship. But you may be asking yourself, what is he doing now, and what in the world makes him qualified to be the offensive coordinator for Miami? Ken Dorsey right now is currently the assistant athletic director at FIU. Now, he was just recently given this position, so a lot of people believe that it's highly unlikely that he would leave it. But once a Cane, always a Cane. Am I right? And before his job at FIU, Dorsey was the quarterback coach for the Carolina Panthers in the NFL. And most notably, he worked directly with Cam Newton for several seasons. Same thing, if you don't know who Cam Newton is, I know a lot of people don't like him. I don't know that I'm the biggest fan, but there's no denying that as a quarterback, Cam Newton is pretty successful. Now, Ken Dorsey's knowledge of the game could greatly benefit Miami, but I'm going to be honest and real with you guys. I did say we're going to have some real talk here. I think that Ken Dorsey would probably be a better quarterbacks coach than an offensive coordinator for Miami. And I think right now, given our current situation, the person who takes that position might have to wear both hats. But there's also no denying that he's probably a better option than what we currently have. Let's just be real. I feel like that Ken Dorsey could bring that old school Miami fire back with him when he came back to the U, because you know that he would be pumped and excited to be back on campus at his old stomping grounds. Now, moving on to option number 2. Some of you guys may not know him by name, but once I mention the team, you'll definitely know who he is. Mr. Sterling Gilbert. Now, Gilbert is currently the offensive coordinator at South Florida. I know, South Florida. But let's be real. Right now, South Florida's offense is ranked in the top 20 in the nation. Now, right now, Miami might be in 75 or 80. I haven't checked, and I mean, I'm being nice here, so maybe the top 75 or 80. South Florida's offense right now is currently averaging around 500 yards per game. And I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty darn good to me. Now, I know that I said South Florida is starting to get some attention, and believe me, they are. But if Gilbert wants the opportunity to potentially coach in an actual national championship game, Miami might be a better place for him. There's no denying that the man knows how to run an offense, and I think that he's a terrific fit for the Miami Hurricanes. And moving on to my final choice for an offensive coordinator for the Miami Hurricanes. Now, I need to warn you, Miami Hurricanes fans, hear me out before you start shaking your head. Before you exit out of this video, hear me out. Listen to my points for this person. Okay, here we go. Some people are not going to like this. Lane Kiffin. And yes, I know, Coop. Lane Kiffin is currently a head coach. He is the head coach of FAU. I know. But Mr. Lane Kiffin enjoys being in the spotlight. At the current time of filming this video, FAU is 3-3. And I mean, let's just be real. We're talking about FAU here. Lane Kiffin has to miss being in those big time games because FAU got a couple of big time games this season and it didn't go so well for them. And I know that he probably enjoys having full control of a team, being the head coach instead of just a coordinator. But how far can he really take FAU? If Lane Kiffin came to Miami, then he would still get to stay in Florida because, again, he's made it very well known on his Twitter that he loves that Florida sunshine. So he still gets to stay in Florida. Miami already has an elite defense, so they have a foundation. So we just need that elite offensive play caller, and you've got a complete team. So I feel like that the position would be very appealing for Lane Kiffin. It would be an easy transition for him to just come on over. And like him or not, and boy do a lot of people not like Lane Kiffin, you cannot deny that he has a history of being an elite play caller. I myself, living in East Tennessee, people here hate this man. Listen, they do not like him. He coached at Tennessee, I believe, for one season, and then left Tennessee hanging high and dry to pursue his dream job at USC, where he apparently got fired at an airport. Then I think from there he went to Alabama, and Saban had some pretty harsh words for Kiffin from time to time. But he's coached offenses in some big-time games, and they've come up big time in those games. I want to see things getting better, things progressing. And the offense over the last few seasons has not progressed. If anything, it's taken a step back recently. So any of these guys would be a good fit, someone to come in there with some experience and just change it up, switch it up. I want to see someone come in and just entirely rework this offense. But let's also be realistic, that's not going to happen during the season. It sucks, I know, Miami fans, I know it sucks, but it's not going to happen during the season. This is going to have to be something more than likely that happens during the offseason to implement an entirely new offense. And that's okay. I'm ready to do that. Now, like I said, we all know that something needs to change at Miami. And I believe that a true offensive coordinator would be a step in the right direction. And just let me know down in the comment section below who you think would be a good fit for the offensive coordinator at Miami. And don't forget though, guys, we are all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I gotta say, it is always better when you get to rep the U. College Football Viz, peace out, guys.